Hi everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome back to our mistake series, a series where we discuss mistakes by level and how to prevent them. Let's look at our first mistake, which is made by 30 to 20 Kyu players. Right now, white just took the corner and black is trying to enclose it. So what is the best way right now? In the game, black played the jump, white blocked, black descended. Now why is that a mistake? Normally in the opening, you don't want to play in the second and first lines because one, it's easier to get captured when you play there, and second, it's not very efficient in terms of enclosing territory. Furthermore, when white pushes, black blocks. When white pushes again, black should block again. Now we can see black has 1, 2, 3, and 4 cutting points. And sometimes 1 could be severe, 4 could most definitely be devastating. And in this case, white could cut at any one of them and almost certainly capture a part of this outside. Instead, what black should play is black should simply block. Even though when white pushes, black blocks, there are 2 cutting points, but 2 cutting points is much easier to manage than 4. Now let's look at the next mistake. The second mistake is by 19 to 10 Kyu players, and there are actually 2 parts to this. This is the state of the game right now. In the game, white just attached. In response, black pushed on the right side, white blocked, then black pushed on the left side, then white blocked. And now there's no way for black to actually escape anymore. Later on, black made a few more resistances, but none of them actually worked. So instead of this, how should black play instead? So if you answered that black should hane, if white cuts, then black should atari, extend, and connect, you would be partially right, because that would be the best move locally. Actually, the best move right now for black is actually to shoulder hit this stone instead of caring about that stone too much because it's in the middle of 2 areas where white is relatively settled. Rather, black should focus more on this stone in view of the whole board. Let's look at the next mistake. The next mistake is associated with direction and is made by 9 to 1 Kyu players. So here's the example. Right now, it's white's turn. White made the atari, which forced black to connect. And then white pushed. In the game, black connected, then white atari'd, black escapes, and white connected. So where is the mistake? The answer is black should have blocked on this side. Even though there might be a push and cut, however, you might look at the whole board and you notice that there's a wall here and black can enclose this side. So there's a lot of potential in the center. So blocking here would activate all that potential and would be much more important in terms of using all the stones on the board currently. So now let's look at the next mistake. The next mistake is associated with a very popular corner nowadays made between 1 to 4 down players. So this is how the game looks like now. Black just pincered and white played this move to expand the moyo. Then black made the kick, white extends, and black jumped. This is a common attacking shape for these 2 stones after the kick. Even though this looks very close, it's a very important area for eye space. Now white attached, black blocked, and then white invaded the 3-3. This is a mistake because black can play here, and this is the reason why white needs the ladder in order for this attachment to work. Because if white cuts now, black can simply ladder the stone and nothing would happen. And this wouldn't work. So make sure you understand how the 3-3 invasion works before playing the kick and defend, because this is utterly important. If you don't respond to this well, the point of kicking is really none, because if you don't defend the corner, if you simply defend the corner with the knight's move without the kick, would yield a much better result. So let's continue to see what happened in the game. After the invasion, black descended. Then white jumped. So here, black should probably just retreat, either Atari here or connect back, because it's a very big corner, and black can also jump back in one move. So these two stones are relatively strong as well. However, in the game, black Atari'd, white extended, and black connected this way. So white seized the opportunity to make the cut, then black pushed, then extended this way. And when white blocked, black extended once more. Then when white connected, so this fight is relatively complicated. So I'll just show you what happened in the end. Here, black should definitely have jumped this back, but black extended, which allowed white to block and capture these stones here. There's no way for black to capture the 4 stones in the center, despite it being short on liberties. So the result of this is that black lost the whole corner, and white is extremely happy. So the takeaway from this is that make sure you know at least the basic responses to the 3-3 invasion before playing the kick. One, that you need the ladder for the attachment to work. And second, you should never block on the side with the knight's move and let white hane back. So once you know all the other variations that are considered even, then you can feel free to play the kick. Otherwise, let's stick with the moves that we are familiar with. Now let's take a look at the next set of mistakes. The next mistake is made between 5 to 7 dan players, and in this game we will see how players fight out in the opening. So this is the example. You can probably tell that this opening by black is the Kobayashi opening from this lower side here. After approach and extending here, white does the large knight's approach, common for the Kobayashi opening. So the Kobayashi opening is the start point, this 3-4, and this extension right here. Black plays the jump, white plays the knight's move. So this is all Joseki so far. But now black plays the one space jump. This is a very tricky move actually. When white extended, black hanes here. This is actually a mistake. Black cannot play this hane. However, this is a very tricky move because it is difficult to respond to, and the solution is very interesting. So if white does the regular, like if I try to push, let's say, well, how come I don't just capture this, right? The problem is after black extends, black can push on this side, and white is no longer able to descend. White actually has to capture, and then black can Atari. White needs to connect, then black just pushes down. And this is a very good result for black because not only black has the territory here, the influence here is very efficient. So this is falling right into black's trap. Now, in the game, white simply haned, black connected, and white extended out. Afterwards, black attached, white push. When black cut, white captures, then black Ataris. So right now, actually, this stone is quite big. So white did spend, well, after making 2 Atari moves to make black fixing more difficult, white came back to capture. And then black protected the cut. So I think the result is slightly even, but actually white has a better way of dealing with this tricky move. So instead of pushing and hane, what white can do is white can push here. When black blocks, white can wedge in over here. And this, at first glance, looks like a very weird move. But black cannot Atari this way because of double Ataris in the center. So black has to Atari over here. And actually pushing this once more is very useful, because now black has to protect on the right side. Then white can cut and descend, and then capture the stone in the corner. Because there's still some weaknesses on the outside, this local result is good for white. So the mistake here would be the hane, actually, and later white not playing. I guess white not playing the best move really can't really be considered a mistake. It's more there's a better solution. So that's it for the top 5 mistakes for the month of February. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you. Comment, like, subscribe, the usual, and I will catch you next time.